Hi guys, welcome back to new video. So today we are going to learn how to create a continuous integration and continuous deployment process for our Kubernetes cluster. And so this is the architecture. In the GitHub repo, we have our source code along with the manifest files of Kubernetes cluster. Then we'll create a Docker file to containerize our app, and the continuous integration part will be done by GitHub Actions. The continuous deployment part will be done by ArgoCD. So we are also going to learn how to deploy ArgoCD on our K8s cluster. So all the actions in the K8s cluster will be performed by ArgoCD, and we'll also monitor it. And so yeah, I hope you understood the architecture. So let's move forward with our GitHub repo. So this is the repository ArgoCD-project. So I forked this repository from this public GitHub repo. This is a very simple weather info app. It looks like this. Okay. So let's create a Docker file for our project. So the base image we want node, lighter node version, stable 112 0. We want Alpine. Yeah, this is the one we want to use from node tag. Okay. Let's install bash. Otherwise, it will give an error when we are running the pod. When we'll okay. So let's add or update Alpine SDK. Hmm. Let's update the machine. Let's create a working directory now. /app. Let's run some command now. npm install. Npm run build. Let's expose the uh, image with port 3000. This is the container port. Okay. Mm, let's add an entry point now. Then bash -c for command. The command npm start. This is our Docker file. Let's commit the change, pushing it to master branch. Okay, now add our manifest file. Create a directory first, manifest. Um, let's get a demo sample deployment from Kubernetes documentation. Name this deploy and.yaml. Find image, sorry, the deployment name will be Argo deploy. Label will be app, web app. Replicas 4, selector, web app. Yeah, template, web app hyphen image. We'll update the image later. So we'll create a CI part and we'll build the image, and then we'll use that in this part. The container port 3000. Now let's create a service for the pods to get exposed to the internet. We'll use node port type service. Node port. New file. Service.yaml. comments, port 3000, container port 3000. Okay. Selector is app hyphen web app. Service name Argo SVC. Yeah, this looks good. Yeah, let's commit the change. So now we'll create a pipeline. The workflow for the CI part. Let's create a workflow now. Create a workflow. Dot GitHub workflows. Flows Argo CICD dot YAML. That's name of workflow. Argo CI workflow. Workflow. Let's create a trigger. Okay, workflow. Okay. Let's create a trigger on push branches. Stop. Yeah. Create a job now. Jobs. Name of first job build hyphen image. It will running on. It will be running on Ubuntu hyphen latest apps. First let's check out this app. Check out the code. We have official GitHub Actions workflow for checking out the code. Check out the action. Now, so now we will require three variables. First one is branch name. Second one is repo name and short commit ID. So for that, I already have code here. I'll just explain in a second. So this step will basically echo the branch name and will put it into the GitHub output so that we can use this variable in the other steps or other jobs. Okay. And in this, we are simply just outputting the branch names, short commit ID, and the repo name. So now let's set up the buildx for our Docker image. Docker setup buildx. Setup buildx. This is basically the architecture for the image. And let's name this job buildx. Okay. Now let's log into our Docker Hub. Docker login. Docker login uses this action with username and password. So let's keep the username and password into GitHub secrets. So I already created secrets for Docker username and Docker password along with GitHub email and GitHub username. We'll use these two later. So you can just simply give a name to the secret here, like XYZ, and add that value and click on the secret. Then we can use the secrets in the workflow. Okay, secrets dot docker underscore username, secrets dot docker underscore password. This is the name of the secret. Okay, so the login part is done. Now let's set up cache layers. So I already have code here. So caching layers, you can just simply Search for this action, the marketplace here, and use this. Yeah. Now let's set up build and push action. Now the build and push ticket. So basically, by giving it the step the name, ID, and context is current directory. The file it will look for Docker file, and we are mentioning the out buildx name here by simply running this command, and push is true. And let's change the ID of our repository. So our GitHub repository name is this. GitHub name, sorry, the Docker Hub repository, and we are giving the tag. First one is branch name underscore the commit ID. So it will build and push the image into Docker Hub. So we can test it. Yeah, let's go ahead and test it. I'm pushing the code into master branch. It will going to trigger the workflow. Yeah, the workflow is here running. It will take some time. Workflow got completed successfully. As you can see here, the commit ID is 306 CAD. And let's check the Docker Hub tag, Docker Hub image tag. So we have first the name of the branch master, which is master, and the commit ID 306 AD CAD. So our Docker image is pushed to the Docker Hub. Now let's change the deployment file as okay. So I'm going to push this code in, to the master branch, and it will trigger the workflow. I'll just cancel the workflow. We don't need to rebuild the image. Let's move forward with our Minikube Kubernetes setup, and let's install ArgoCD into that cluster. Okay. You can just run this command minikube space start, and it will create a cluster for you. Let's create a alias for kubectl. Okay, get nodes. So yeah, we have one node, master plane, control plane. So let's install the ArgoCD ArgoCD application on Kubernetes. Let's follow the documentation. Quick start, create a namespace. Okay, let's create one namespace called ArgoCD. Now let's apply this install.yaml file in that namespace. So it created some resource here, and let's check get all -n argocd. So if you want to access the server, argocd server, we have to like port forward the service, argocd service. Let's just do that. kubectl port forward service name 8080 443, the name space. Unable to work. Acha, okay. So the pods are not in running state. So let's wait for pods are running. Host 8080. The username is admin, and for password we have to check the secret in the Argo City namespace. Kget get alias first. Kget secrets in namespace Argo CD. So this secret initial admin password output in YAML format. Okay, so this is the password. Let's decode the password. Type it with base 64 hyphen decode. This is the password, copy it, paste it here. It's running. So this is the Argo dashboard. Let's create a new application for application name web app, project name default. So I'll tell you what is the difference between manual and automatic later. So let's keep it manual for now. Auto create namespace, repository URL. Let's give the repo URL. Add manifest path, manifest. We check manifest. Okay. This is the default Kubernetes service. Namespace web app. Okay. Let's create the application. Our application has been created. As you can see here, it says out of sync because we have set it to manual. So basically, what is the difference between manual and automatic synchronization? So in manual synchronization, we have to click on this sync button to synchronize the desired state, which is in our manifest folder, and the current state, which is in the Kubernetes. So we have to synchronize both state manually, and in automatically it will ArgoCD will automatically synchronize the both of the state. So let's click on the sync button. As you can see here, it will going to create one Argo service and one deployment. And in the deployment, we have set it replicas to 4. Then it will so it will create 4 replicas, 4 pods. You can see here created 4 pods with, and also one new revision, which is the replica set. Pods are running. Let's check. They get all in web app. Yes, 4 pods are running in the web app namespace along with one service and deployment. Okay, so let's expose the service. Sorry, let's port forward the service. kubectl port forward service name. Okay. Uh, Port number 3000 container port, and then in the namespace web app. So our application is listening on port 1000 local port. So this is our app. Let's make a small change here. Instead of Celsius, let's add ArgoCD and test our application. Okay. And also let's so what we have done is like created a manifest file and also workflow along with Docker file. So what are we doing here? So so the GitHub action is building and pushing the image to the Docker hub, and then we are manually going and changing the image ID, image name in the deployment.yaml. So let's get rid of that and do it automatically instead of manually. Okay. So let's change the workflow. So I have code here to do that. So what it will do, I'll just explain in a second. So these are basic Linux commands. So let's give the image name first, and the file is manifest folder. So what are we doing here? We are giving the variable name image underscore name to the image that we are building in the above step, and then we are replacing whatever in the image colon to the new image in the deployment.yaml file. So it will not going to push the code because this is running on Ubuntu latest, which is a separate machine. So we have to we have to push the code, push the changes through the GitHub action. So I have a code, simple GitHub code, git code. So instead of using this email, let's mention the secret. I've already created secret for this. This is git underscore email. You can create your, you can add, I mean, like your secret username also. close the bracket, get username, check get username. Okay. Oh, so before doing that, let's pull the changes first. Get pull and let's get the pushing part. Okay, this looks good. So what it will, so it will going to build the image and push it to Docker Hub, then automatically uh, change the image name in the deployment.yaml file. So let's test it. And okay, one more thing, let's make some change in the web app. I'm just going to cancel the run here. Let's cancel the run. Okay, got cancelled. Make a small change here. The app.js, instead of Celsius, let's use Argo CD. Okay. So the workflow got completed successfully. Let's recheck the commit ID first. Commit ID is C82EFA. Master underscore C82. Okay. So let's check whether it may change into deployment.yaml or not. As you can see here, the tag is master underscore C82 C82EF. Okay. So now this workflow will say out of sync. Let's just refresh it. As you can see here, it says out of sync because we have changed the image name in the deployment.yaml. Okay, so once I click on the sync button, it will create a new revision and create four more pods with the new image. So let's do that. As you can see here, it created a new revision and creating pods two by two. Four more pods are created and are running with the new revision. Let's check the application. Let's do the pod forwarding. Now let's refresh. As you can see here, our changes are reflecting. Instead of Celsius, it's saying ArgoCD, and all four pods are running healthy. So now what we'll do, we'll integrate Argo rollout in our CICD process. So I'll just show you how to do that. Let's go to the documentation first. Argo rollouts. This is the Argo rollout documentation page, and here let's create a namespace. The namespace Argo rollouts hyphen rollouts. Again, let's apply the install.yaml file in the Argo rollouts namespace. This is done. Now let's get started. So in the prerequisite, as you can see, we need a kubectl Argo rollout plugin. You can install by running this command or by manually doing these steps. I've already installed it. So I'm in Windows, so it looks kind of different. You can just like, if you want to access the dashboard, you can just simply go and type Argo dashboard. So this is in Windows, right? I installed it on Windows. So it looks like this. Uh, Running on port 3100. So this is the dashboard. As you can see, it's empty for now. So let's move forward with the documentation first. So we need to create a deploying a rollout kind. So we need to add a kind of rollout for doing that. So in this demo, we are going to use canary type deployment. So this a sample rollout manifest file. So I'll just go and paste it in our GitHub and do here one more. Uh, Let's just comment it out. So as you can see here, it kind of look like the deployment, like in the template you can see we are mentioning a label specifying the container details, so it replicates the deployment. And in deployment, as you can see, like we have mentioned 4 replicas. So with the deployment, it deploy all the 4 at one time. And in the rollout, we can mention the strategy. So here we are mentioning the canary type strategy and set weight to 25. That means if we have 4 pods, one pod will be running on the new rollout, and the 3 will target the previous one. So with the interval of time, it unlike in deployment. So I'll just comment out the deployment. I'll create a replica rollout kind. Let's just rename it Argo Argo rollouts. Rollouts. Okay, okay. The name is web app rollouts. Container name will be rollouts web app image. We'll give the image name here. This image. It will always container port is 3000. Candidate 25. Template name. This looks good. Okay. But let's do one thing. Let's copy this spec file here. The documentation strategy is this. Okay. So this looks good. Name rollout analysis, not this. Replicas of 4. So this looks good. So we are going to paste the uh, commit the changes in the main branch. So also let's rename the file Argo rollouts. Uh, okay, one more thing. Let's change this to Argo rollouts. And guys, I have made changes in this workflow file. Just show you. Wait. So here you have to change it to argo-rollouts.yaml. Earlier we had here deployment.yaml. Same here. I've made the changes. Okay. Now let's see the run. Workflow got completed. Let's check whether it changed the rollout.yaml or not. You can see here. The latest tag is 6ACC. Check here. 6ACC. Okay. So in the dashboard, as you can see here, it says out of sync. Let's click on the sync button. So as you can see here, it created a rollout with the name rollout analysis given with revision 1 and creating 4 pods. Let's see the events. So let's check out the, okay. So in the rollouts dashboard, as you can see here, so these are the steps we have mentioned. Let's check. Set weight 20, then pause 40, then pause for 10 seconds, then 60, then 80. Our pods are up. You can see here. Okay. Yeah, all the pods are running now. Let's check. Uh, so pods are running. Let's expose the. Let's port forward the service. ArgoCD service. No, port forward. Copy this service 3000 and web app. As you can see here, it got stuck because we haven't gave the appropriate label to the pods. Let's select this, select a app, web app, and then relabel it. container web app. Also this. Yes. Commit the change. Also ran successfully. Let's check the latest tag. 7ff. Recheck in Argo rollout YAML. 7ff. Okay. Let's click on the refresh button. Says out of sync. Perfect. Let's click on sync button. Okay, it will create a new revision. Perfect. Check the rollouts, how the rollouts are going. As you can see here. So once this pod gets up, it will say the wait is 20%, right? Then it will wait for few seconds. Then it will set 40% wait and then pause for 10 seconds. And go on like 60, 10, 80, 10. Pressure. It will take some time to get up because it's pulling the latest image. The events are here. See, pulling the latest image with the tag. The pod is successfully running. You can see here. And so it's in the pods step now. Then it will run the second pod in the rollout revision. We can also promote this step. Let's promote it. So this is canary type deployment. Now it will pause for 10 seconds. Then after 10 seconds, it will again create a new pod in the latest revision. You can also see here, two pods are running in the new revision. Similarly, set wait 80%. Then it will pause for 10 seconds. And this pod will be deleted. Scaling down. Let's see the Argo dashboard. So all four pods are running. Let's expose the service. Sorry, let's do the port forward. Now it's running. Let's check the changes. ArgoCD. Okay. So the CICD part looks good. Now let's test this architecture with the rollout. Okay, Argo rollout. Let's do this. What we'll do, we'll just update the app file, this app file. Then the build and push image will be automatically done. Then with the tag, it will edit the manifest file with the new tag. And then let's also do this. Let's also change it to automatic instead of manual. Edit, enable auto save change. Okay, so let's make a change in the app file. Instead of Celsius, now let's select testing and Fahrenheit. Let's select Argo CICD. Commit the change. Let's see the workflow. Yeah, the workflow is running. Let's wait for the workflow is completed. Then post steps that it's not required. So let's check the latest tag. Latest tag is A02. Let's check the manifest file. It says edited 0 now only. 0A2. Okay, so now let's move forward to our dashboard. So it automatically got synced. Yep. And let's check the rollout. Creating a new rollout. This was revision 1, revision 2. Now we have created revision 3, right? So with creating a one pod at a time with the new revision, and that then it will take pause. We can also promote it. Let's promote the pause. Wait for it to get complete. Let's promote the pause. Sure, yes. So it's pause again. Let's promote the pause again. 3 seconds. Sorry, 80 wait, 80% wait. So 80% wait is done. All of pods are created. Now it will delete this pod and it created a new revision. Let's check the Argo dashboard. Let's refresh it. As you can see here with with the revision 3, as you can see here, created 4 pods with the latest image tag. The image tag is A02. Now let's check the application. We have already put forwarded it. No, it got error deleted. Okay. Okay. So we have changed this ArgoCD to testing and Fahrenheit to ArgoCD. Okay. Let's refresh it. As you can see here, testing and ArgoCD. So this was it, guys. We have created a CI/CD process using GitOps principle. So I hope you liked it. Thank you. And we also incorporated Argo rollouts, which is better than usual KX deployment .yaml file kind. So I hope you liked it. Thank you.